Celta Vigo are off to a flying start in La Liga EA Sports. They look the part under Claudio Giraldez, and it might not be a year of suffering down towards the bottom of the table, at least from what the first two games have shown us. Both games coming at home, a win on Matchday 1 against Alaves after falling behind by a goal to nil. But they came out with energy in this game and almost got on the board first. We're knocking the ball around with extreme confidence, and that was Hugo Alvarez, who just got put off at the last moment by Jesus Vázquez. Try and find Celta's first opportunity. They were constantly on the front foot, and then Valencia decided that it was time to turn it on, and Thierry Correa was a big part of that. Looking for Rafa Mir, as Valencia started this game with an unchanged 11 from their loss at home against Barça, and they would pay it off with a goal. It was a strange assist. Watch Rafa Mir here with a potential bicycle kick goal effort, but it fell to Diego Lopez, and he put Valencia on the board first, just as they were against Barça a week ago. Valencia took a lead with an Hugo Duro goal. Then it's Lopez this time, 14 minutes in. It's the first assist for Rafa Mir since he was playing with Huesca. Hadn't had one in 3 years with Sevilla. A hustle play from Jarek Kasiorowski. And this was actually checked for a few minutes, actually, to see if Lopez was onside. We later got the image, and it wasn't shown to be close. Aspas was the man who played him on. Gave Valencia the lead. The first goal for Lopez, scoring 3 goals last year for the club, after coming onto the scene a little over a year and a half ago during their relegation fight towards the end of the season. Big part of that, Diego Lopez. After the long check, eventually this would be confirmed as the first goal of the day, but there would be plenty more. With the lead, Valencia tried to push forward again down the right-hand side with Correa. Big save, a necessary save, perhaps a simple save from Ivan Villar, but it kept Valencia from turning a 1-goal lead into a 2-goal lead. Correa was a constant threat down the right-hand side, and because Villar stood strong, it allowed Celta to do this. Come on back on the attack, and Iago Aspas can do it in all types of ways, this time distributing. Aspas to Oscar Mingueza. On the day of Celta's 101st anniversary, Mingueza scores the equalizer. He was the first player to score after celebrating their 100th anniversary last year, and it's Aspas again. Second assist of the season, after assisting, or I should say first assist, second goal contribution after scoring the winner last Friday against Alaves. This one setting up Mingueza perfectly. A response less than 10 minutes after Valencia scored their goal. And only 5 minutes after that did Aspas try to make it happen again. This time, Viliet Svidberg, who was the man who scored the equalizer last weekend, he was a bright spot too for Celta. Didn't get on the board today. This one hits the side netting. And again, the captain, the distributor, Svidberg tying up Christian Mosquera. Nearly did it by beating Mamardashvili with his left foot. 20 years old, Svidberg, the man from Stockholm, and he is already becoming a household name in Vigo. 3rd season at the club. And so, this would be the next response. Mingueza, patient, 2 touches from Iago Aspas, and Celta had a lead that they would not ever relinquish. His second goal of the season, the second time that he's given Celta a 2-1 lead. It's just working so fluidly for Celta under Claudio Giraldez. Everybody marauding forward. Mingueza returns the favor, and how about those two touches from Aspas? One to set it up on his left foot, and the other to slot it home beyond Mamardashvili. No question about who was bossing this game. It's the 37-year-old captain, which forced Valencia to then respond. They had to come up with something, and they nearly had their chance here. Hugo Duro, with Ivan Villar out of his post, has to turn around and get a shot away. He has to find the target here somehow. Frantic defending from Fran Beltran, from Gileson. Nicely poked away from Villar by Vázquez, but Duro just here taking too long to come up with the proper move. And then right before halftime, we had 5 added minutes, and within those 5 minutes, Hugo Duro, who is surely not a defender, gets tagged here for a handball. And that means a penalty's coming. It comes off of Javi Guerra initially, and Duro, as you'll see here, with his arms in an unnatural position, that's always going to be called a penalty. Rightfully so. Iago Aspas stepped up and got denied. A rare miss from the captain. And instead of a 3-1 lead, Mamardashvili keeps his side in the game. And this was the image just before the penalty. Some mind games. Aspas scored against Mamardashvili last year from the spot. This time, though, the tables were turned. And the Georgian guessed correctly. It was a big confidence boost for Valencia going into halftime. He thought that might help them turn the tide. Halftime substitution saw Sergio Carreira come in for Mingueza, who was on a yellow card. And Celta continued to burst forward and search for the third, and Carreira right away with some of his first touches had the opportunity, ends up getting a corner out of it. Years old, his first intervention with the senior squad in 3 years. They were constantly on the front foot. That's Javi Rodriguez, who made his first La Liga appearance on match day 1, gets his first La Liga start this time around. The changes that Claudio Giraldez made to his starting 11 were very telling. Svedberg forced a save out of Mamardashvili. The 3 changes were simple. The same 3 changes that Giraldez made at halftime on match day 1 against Alaves when they were down 1-0 and turned the game around to take a 2-1 lead. Those 3 changes, Svedberg, along with Rodriguez and Gileson, all started this game in place of the 3 players they substituted, Bamba, Manquillo, and Starfelt. Svedberg showing you why he is a top choice of Giraldez. Still though, Celta were in search of a third goal to put the game away. Once again, Svedberg thought he might have his opportunity here. Better defending though from Jarek. Poor giveaway though here leads to the third goal ultimately. That's Vázquez, who was not on the same page as Mamardashvili. He gives away a cheap corner. This wasn't much of a chance. I mean, you look at Jarek here, he gets the job done defensively. Vázquez wants to go back to his keeper. It almost turned into an own goal. Mamardashvili was helpless, but the ensuing corner turns into the third goal. Fran Beltran hadn't scored in 3 La Liga seasons. Well, that's changed. A beautiful second chance strike to put the game away for Celta. And the unlikely goal scorer gets one. Celta score 3 goals. They are on a tear at Balaidos, scoring multiple goals in all of their games at home under Giraldez. 5 games now. This is why there is belief in Vigo. On the half volley, with a seed to the upper right-hand corner. Beltran would later feel the pain of a tough challenge, but get back up and be able to continue. It was from this late challenge here, it was his shoulder that he came down holding. Valencia tried, but there was never any doubt in this game that Celta were going to win. The best chance after that came from Rafa Mir, just bad luck, which has been the story of his last couple of years. He hits the post. Substitute Dimitri Folkie set up Mir to try and put that one home, cleared away in the end, and Valencia get nothing from it, and they've started with 2 losses at the beginning of their season for the first time since 2015, and their schedule does not get any easier either. They have some difficult games on the horizon. Athletic Club, Atletico de Madrid, and Girona are all around the corner. Conversely, Celta have not won 2 in a row to start their season since 2015, but they have now 6 points and still at the top of the table. Celta win it 3-1.